She was running barefoot through the streets, tears blurring her vision, clutching a secret that could get her killed. Sirens echoed behind her, strangers turned away, and fear was chasing her faster than her feet could carry her. Then she looked up and saw them standing there in black armor, faces hidden, unmoving like statues. People called them the Iron Guardians. Most were terrified of them. But what they saw when they lifted her face changed everything. Before the story begins, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because stories like this reveal how one moment can change an entire life forever. She ran without knowing where she was going. Her lungs burned, her legs shook, and the cold pavement sliced into the soles of her feet, but she did not stop. The city around her was alive with noise, car horns, music from open windows, laughter spilling from bars, yet none of it reached her. All she could hear was her own breath and the pounding of her heart, loud and desperate, like it was trying to warn her that time was running out. Her name was Leila Hart, and just an hour earlier she had believed her life was ordinary. Leila had grown up learning how to disappear. She learned it early, in a small apartment with peeling walls and a father who drank too much and spoke too loudly. She learned to move quietly, to listen more than she spoke, to make herself small when danger filled the room. By the time she was 22, disappearing had become second nature. She worked at a downtown diner, saved her tips in a coffee tin under her bed, and dreamed of a future far away from the city that had never been kind to her. That night, she wasn't supposed to be running. She was supposed to finish her shift, take the bus home and sleep, but fate had other plans. It started with a man in a gray suit sitting alone in her section. He didn't look dangerous. Middle-aged, tired eyes, polite smile. He ordered coffee and asked for nothing else. When she brought the check, he slipped something onto the tray beneath the receipt. At first, she thought it was a tip. Then she saw the edge of a flash drive. He leaned in and spoke so softly she almost didn't hear him. "If anyone asks, you never saw me. Take this. Don't plug it in at work. Don't tell anyone. And if someone comes looking for it, run." Before she could ask a single question, he stood up, left exact change on the table, and walked out into the night. Leila should have thrown it away. She knew that. Every instinct told her to forget it, to pretend it never happened. But curiosity can be louder than fear. When she got home, she locked the door, closed the curtains, and plugged the drive into her old laptop. What she saw stole the air from her lungs. It was footage, documents, names, faces she recognized from the news, politicians, business leaders, police commanders, all tied together by transactions, secret meetings, and something darker: human trafficking, money laundering, cover-ups that stretched back years. This wasn't just corruption. It was a system, and it was protected by people with power. She didn't notice the time passing until headlights swept across her window, then another car. Then footsteps in the hallway, a knock at her door, sharp and authoritative. "Police, open up." Her blood turned to ice. She hadn't told anyone. There was no way they could already know, unless they always knew. Unless the man in the gray suit had been a warning, not a chance. She grabbed her jacket, shoved the flash drive into her pocket, and climbed out the fire escape as the door splintered behind her. That was when she started running. Now she was in the middle of the city, tears streaking down her face, people staring but not stopping. She tried to scream for help once, but the sound died in her throat. Who would believe her? Who would risk themselves for a stranger with wild eyes and no shoes? That was when she saw them. They stood at the intersection like something out of a nightmare or a legend. Tall, broad, black armored uniforms with iron gray insignias, full-face helmets that hid their expressions completely. The Iron Guardians. An elite private security force contracted by the city for high-risk situations. Some called them heroes. Others called them mercenaries with badges. Most people crossed the street when they saw them. Leila ran straight toward them. The moment she stumbled into the intersection, one of them stepped forward. His hand went to her arm, firm but not rough, stopping her from collapsing. She tried to pull away, panic exploding in her chest. "No, please, they're coming. You don't understand." Another guardian scanned the street, his helmet turning slowly, methodically. Sirens were getting closer. The first guardian tilted his helmet down, studying her face. For a moment the world seemed to hold its breath. Then he said something unexpected. "You're not who they said you'd be." Leila froze. "What do you mean?" Before he could answer, two police cruisers screeched to a halt nearby. Officers jumped out, hands on their weapons. "Step away from the girl," one of them shouted. She's a suspect in an ongoing investigation. The Iron Guardian didn't move. His voice was calm, almost cold. Identify your authority. The officer's jaw tightened. City police. Stand down. Behind the visor, the Guardian made a decision that would change everything. He turned slightly, positioning himself between Lila and the officers. Negative, he said. This individual is under our protection. The street erupted in confusion. Bystanders pulled out phones. The police shouted orders. Lila felt like she was standing in the center of a storm, too terrified to move. Why are you doing this? She whispered. Because we were told to watch for a criminal, the Guardian said quietly. Someone dangerous. Someone willing to destroy evidence to protect powerful people. Then he leaned closer. And because you look like a victim, not a threat. The officers advanced anyway. That was when everything escalated. Within minutes, more Guardians arrived, forming a barrier. The police radioed for backup. The crowd grew. Someone yelled that a riot was about to start. Lila thought she might faint. Then the flash drive slipped from her pocket and clattered onto the pavement. Silence fell like a bomb. One of the officers saw it and lunged forward. The Guardian was faster. He picked it up, holding it just out of reach. What is this? He asked. Lila swallowed hard. The truth, she said, and it's why they want me gone. The Guardian straightened. Protocol required him to turn it over to authorities. But something in the files the Iron Guardians had received earlier that week flashed through his mind. Anonymous intel. A warning about a purge. About witnesses being erased under the cover of law enforcement. He looked at Lila again. This time not as a scared girl, but as someone carrying a weight far heavier than herself. We're leaving, he said. You can't, the officer snapped. She's evidence. No, the Guardian replied. She's under our custody now. What followed was chaos. Orders were given and ignored. The Guardians extracted Lila with precision, surrounding her, moving her into an armored vehicle as protests and shouts filled the air. As the doors slammed shut, Lila broke down, sobbing harder than she had since she was a child. Inside the vehicle, one of the Guardians removed his helmet. He was younger than she expected, early 30s. Dark eyes lined with exhaustion. My name is Marcus, he said. You did something very brave tonight. I didn't mean to, she cried. I just didn't want to die. Marcus nodded. Sometimes that's enough. They took her to a secure facility outside the city. For the first time since the knock on her door, Lila slept. When she woke up, everything had changed. The Iron Guardians didn't hand her over. Instead, they investigated the drive themselves, quietly, carefully. What they found confirmed their worst fears. Entire divisions of the city were compromised. Judges, police chiefs, even members of the Guardians' own oversight committee. Lila was no longer just a witness. She was a liability to powerful people. Days passed. News broke of internal investigations. Officials resigned suddenly. Others disappeared from public view. The city buzzed with rumors, but no one knew the full truth. One night, Marcus visited Lila in the safe house. They're going to try again, he said. Legally this time. Warrants, courts. They'll paint you as unstable, a criminal, anything to discredit you. What do I do? She asked. He hesitated. There's another option. Go public. Full exposure. No shadows left to hide in. Lila felt fear claw at her chest again. If she did that, there would be no running anymore. Do you trust me? Marcus asked. She thought of the street, the armor, the moment he stepped between her and the guns. Yes, she said, I do. The next morning, the world woke up to a live stream that shook the nation. Lila told her story, the diner, the drive, the chase, the names, the evidence. The Iron Guardians released the files simultaneously, mirrored across servers worldwide. There was no stopping it. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Arrests, protests, emergency sessions of government. The city was forced to confront a truth it had ignored for years, and Lila Hart became a symbol. Not a hero, she insisted. Just someone who refused to stay silent. Weeks later, she walked through those same streets again. This time in shoes. This time with her head high. People recognized her. Some thanked her. Some looked away in shame. At the intersection where it all began, she stopped. Marcus stood nearby, helmet tucked under his arm. You're safe now, he said. She smiled softly. For the first time, I believed that. As she walked on, the Iron Guardians remained behind, silent sentinels in a city learning how to face its own reflection. And somewhere deep in the system, people who once thought themselves untouchable realized something terrifying. The girl who ran crying through the streets had finally been seen. Before we end this story, tell us in the comments which part of the country you are watching from.